What's going on, guys? Counting Gains back here again, your resident Jordan Peterson reviewer, I guess I'd call myself. But today, guys, we got a fire video by Jordan Peterson. So this one's blown up recently, guys. I'm not a Jordan Peterson supporter, just by the way, guys. But I do agree with what he's saying here. But this video, everyone's disagreeing with it. Everyone is talking crazy on it, saying that basically, you know, he's completely wrong. It's called Jordan Peterson Destroys the Food Pyramid. Now, the food pyramid, for those who don't know, man, obviously my channel, Counting Gains, but we talk about nutrition, we talk about rap videos, we talk about a lot of different stuff, guys. But one of the main things that we talk about on this channel, guys, is, you know what I mean, different social aspects and things like that, guys. So Jordan Peterson talking about the food pyramid. This one should be pretty crazy, man, because a lot of people are saying, I see a lot of different Irish included people talking that he's absolutely completely wrong with this. I have pretty much the same diet as him, right? I'm pretty much carnivore diet. I'm like 80% or 70% carnivore before everyone starts saying, oh, you don't eat carnivore 100%. I don't eat 100%, guys. I do eat carbs and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Let's see what he has to say, man. This one's gonna be hilarious. I will say one thing, guys. Jordan Peterson has a PhD in psychology, nothing to do with nutrition. So taking nutritional advice from him is like taking, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know, whatever the case you think, guys, like taking freaking exercise advice from a super obese person. It's just not, it's not relative, right? It's not actually accurate, right? He's more of a do as I say, not as I do type guy. Like he's kind of more of a, you know, philosopher guy. He's talking about religion. He has no standard to talk about religion, guys, but everyone loves his religious takes and stuff like that. So let's see what he has to say about the food pyramid. I think this is gonna be crazy, but yeah, let's get it.
In such circumstances, in the face of such mandatory privations and manipulations, it's obvious that the last thing our tyrannical...
Dude, where is he? Is he in some kind of wood-chopped house? Is he in some kind of like cottage or something? Where the hell is this guy?
Idiot, panicked, virtue-signaling governments should be doing is directing their demented attention toward regulating what people serve at their tables.
But yeah, because I don't agree with that, guys. So they're trying to regulate what we eat. Like, for anyone that disagrees with Jordan Peterson, this guy's like, I agree with a few different things. I obviously don't, I'm not a supporter of it at all, guys. I haven't read 12 Rules for Life, 12 More Rules for Life. I think a lot of those books are kind of BS, guys. You know, I think that a lot of the stuff that he says is BS, but he does, you know, hold some good stances on nutrition, even though he's not like a nutrition guy. So yeah, let's see what he has to say. But what he's trying to say, guys, is you're not dictating what people have on their plates, guys. You shouldn't be dictating whether you're allowed to eat meat, whether you're not allowed to eat meat, whatever the case may be. But that's what they're trying to do now. These governments are trying to regulate what people eat on their food plates and, you know, all this crazy stuff. So let's get it.
Because meat has also been deemed yet something else that is destroying the planet.
Yeah, it's not.
The woke narcissists of compassion are already insisting that people eat less of it.
Bro, you guys take life too serious, bro. I'm on this channel. I'm getting hundreds of subscribers a day. I'm laughing my ass. I'm having fun with it. And you guys are all getting so mad and up in arms about Jordan Peterson or whether you're against him or for him. You guys take life too serious, man. Like, one of the main things I want to preach on my channel is don't take yourself too seriously, guys. But he is pretty funny, guys. You know what I mean? The narcissists of compassion are already insisting that people eat less. Bro, he is a funny guy. Come on.
Plants and bugs for you and your children, peasants. And the sooner you get accustomed to it, or else, the better. Let's turn our attention to the claim that animal husbandry and the meat it produces cheaply enough for everyone to afford is unsustainable.
It's not, guys. I actually eat pretty much like 1 to 2 pounds of beef a day. I don't recommend that to everyone. I would recommend that to everyone if they could do it. But, you know, you also have to deal with your own digestive system. If you feel like you can eat a ton of meat a day, do that. I just work very well off a lot of red meat, beef, but that's just me, guys. If you guys like to eat eggs, I eat a lot of eggs every day as well. If you guys like to eat chicken, I don't work that well off chicken. I can't gain weight. I can't gain muscle off chicken. Like, you know, it's just too low calories. It's like a salad for me. But if you guys can work very well off salads and different things like that, then do that, guys. You know what I mean? But don't try to regulate these things. It's crazy.
For a moment, because we haven't yet dispensed with enough moralizing and authoritarian stupidity. Remember what happened the last time that government agencies applied their tender mercy to determining what the people they serve should consume? We were offered the much vaunted food pyramid, telling us to eat 6 to 11 servings of grains and carbohydrates a day, with protein and fat at the pinnacle, something to be indulged in with comparative rarity.
Yeah, you see, this is where I agree with him, guys. Protein shouldn't be a rarity in the diet. It should be the focal head on number one thing that you guys should be getting. It helps satiety, it helps build muscle, it helps burn fat. It's the number one thing, but they have it up the top, guys. You know, it's completely ridiculous. Carbohydrates, yes, they do help run your body, but you don't need them, guys. You don't 100% need them. If that was the case, man, a lot of people that do carnivore diets or keto diets would be dead. You understand? So he is speaking some truth here, guys. But I just want to remind people, if the more carbs you eat, man, for me, it's the more food I can consume, right? So if I eat like a pound of beef, I can't eat that much more. I could probably eat like 10, 15, 25, 30 Pop-Tarts. You understand, guys? So it's a lot easier to eat carbs than it is to eat, you know, which is calorie-dense food, guys. So, I mean, make that what you will of it, you know?
If indeed necessary at all.
Yeah.
That all turned out to be wrong. And not just a little wrong, but so wrong that it might as well have been not just wrong, but a veritable anti-truth, something as wrong as it could possibly get. The food pyramid was brought into being not least by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, that is, by marketers, not scientists or nutritionists, with no shortage whatsoever of lobby efforts by those whose products ended up being promoted.
It's true.
The dietary recommendation to prioritize carbohydrates produced a veritable epidemic of obesity and diabetes, resulting in what has been deemed by reliable researchers as one of the worst public health disasters of all time, dooming almost the entire Western population to a lifetime of catastrophic chronic health problems.
That's a huge statement. And I actually, now that I see the video in full, saying that, I'm very open to changing my point of views. Do I think that every single major problem is coming from carbohydrates? Probably not, guys. You know, you could probably say absolutely not, right? I mean, you couldn't, you know, there's no argument to prove that every single chronic health problem that people have, like diabetes, all these crazy things, are coming from carbohydrates. Now, do they accelerate it? I mean, I'm sure there's studies that show it for or for against, but it's really tough to say like whether it 100% causes chronic problems, guys. You know, let's just take one thing that I know of, like Kellogg's lobbies the breakfast people, and before people eat like eggs and bacon for breakfast, people are strong, healthy, and then they lobbied the group, hey, make cornflakes the cornerstone of a healthy nutritional breakfast. And now cornflakes, which is basically just corn, which we don't have much corn in Ireland, but like corn is like a big like US thing, and also like have loads of corn and sugar, guys. Have those two things together. It's like, bro, is having sugar good for breakfast? Like, I would argue not, guys. You know, a lot of people are like, no, it's good to have it for breakfast, but I don't know, guys. I just feel like having sugar in general is not a great thing. I used to not mind sugar. I used to eat a load of sugar, but I realized my inflammation in my body, I could just feel myself not good. So the more you limit that, the better. I always preach the more protein, the more meat, animal sources that you get into your diet. That includes avocados, things like that, guys. Fruit, loads of fruit. That's very healthy, right? But I definitely don't think having tons of pasta is that healthy. So, but that is a huge statement by Mr. JP.
42% of Americans are obese. Another almost equally large percentage are overweight.
Yeah, it's like 80% of Guys, I was in America and Canada. Just go there. Like, everyone is overweight or obese. It's crazy.
At least a third are in the early or later stages of diabetes, which is an exceptionally serious disease.
Yeah, you die from that. Like, people that are doctors and stuff like that, that research stuff, they're not as smart as you think, guys. You know, when they say diabetes and these kind of things, that means you're just about to die, guys. Like, when you get diabetes, it's not good, guys. It is horrendous.
$1.7 trillion is spent annually on chronic illness in the U.S. And the rise in such illness and cost is directly associated with the beginning of the godforsaken top-down dietary guidelines that set us all on a carbohydrate-heavy dietary pathway. There have been...
You know what's funny, guys? I will give my own example of this. For my whole life, I've been bodybuilding like, 10, 11 years, or just like bodybuilding, like just gymming for 10 years, right? Never in my life have I tried to limit carbohydrates. As soon as I started to limit my carbs, I started feeling phenomenal, like overnight. You know, so there is a little bit of truth to say, like, okay, you limit the amount of water in your body when you have carbs. You limit the amount of food that you can take in, because carbs helps you push it. Just, for me, guys, I don't know, like any bodybuilder that's serious about it, like, guys, if the more carbs you have, the more food you can eat, right? It's just like crazy. You can just like consume loads. It makes you hungrier, right? Same as caffeine, kind of helps with the hunger and shit like that. But like, try to limit your carbs and see how good you guys feel. I'm telling you guys, it does work. That's why I do agree with Jordan Peterson on this. Do I agree that like it caused every chronic problem. Probably not, guys. I mean, that's a bit of it. That's a friggin' that's a stretch, guys. That's a stretch.
In addition, dozens of studies debunking the claim that red meat causes disease.
Yeah, it doesn't, guys. Red meat's absolutely the number one thing that I push with you guys. Always red meat and eggs and animal source proteins, guys. It's what we survived on for years. And I know I've used to be vegan as well. The argument about, obviously appeal to nature, all these different fallacies, but guys, trust me when I say, when you guys just eat red meat and carbs and chicken and this kind of stuff and eggs and milk. Well, I don't really like milk because milk is very heavy in carbs. I can drink a ton of milk as well. It's much better to eat red meat.
The Pure study, Pure, published in the journal Lancet in 2017, analyzing 140,000 individuals from 18 countries, revealed that, quote, higher carbohydrate intake, not meat and fat, note, was associated with an increased risk of total mortality.
I would definitely agree with that, guys. Like, no one is out here like eating like tons of beef. Like, I probably eat like 10 times the amount of beef that the average Irish person or American person eats, right? Probably. Just taken from the US guidelines, I think it's like 2 ounces of steak. I probably eat like 10 times that, right? And I'm going to the gym every day. I feel so healthy. Blood works perfect. So it's kind of a bit unfair to say that like eating tons of meat is not good for you. It's just complete cap, guys. Like, when you eat tons of carbs, guys, I'm telling you, Pop-Tarts and all this shit. I eat the same stuff too, guys. So before anyone starts saying, Chris, you don't eat a perfect diet. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the more you do eat that, guys, it is bad for you. Like, I agree 100%.
Quote, higher saturated fat intake was associated with lower risk of stroke. Lower. That is exactly the opposite of what we have been told by the beneficial centralizing agents who task themselves with determining what we, as sovereign and responsible individuals, should put in our mouths. Yeah. So the health benefits of a pure vegetarian and vegan diet are dubious at best. But what of the argument that animal husbandry is killing the planet? Well, the American Environmental Protection Agency estimates that all farming produces only 11% of greenhouse gases in the US. Transportation produces 27%. Livestock accounts for 3%. And plant-based agriculture? 5%. According to the National Academy of Sciences, if we eradicated all animal-based agriculture, we'd reduce greenhouse gases by a mere 2.6%. And it is no simple matter, by the way, and perhaps impossible, to manage a diet that is sustainable in the medium to long term by merely dining on plants.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Chew on that.
Chew on that. Up yours, woke. Bro, I just can't watch him anymore, guys. Up yours, woke Morless. Now, guys, I can't watch him anymore, man. It's just too funny. Every time I react to him, it's just like an absolute, it's just comical. But yeah, guys, I completely, pretty much for the most part, agree with what he's saying. There you have a trained psychologist talking about nutrition, guys. Now, take that what you will. So, yeah, I pretty much agree with a lot of that stuff that he's trying to say, guys. But, a lot of the times it's not as it seems, guys. So, hope you guys enjoy that, man. Please leave in the comments down below what do you guys think. Do you guys think that it's beneficial to have loads of carbs, or do you guys think it's beneficial to have loads of meat? I personally, I'm going to stick with my meat. I feel phenomenal. Best I've ever felt in my life, in fact. So, yeah. Love you guys all, man. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.